Okay, so again welcome back to my channel, and in last video we have talked about the basic terminologies of statistics, and today in the sequence we will study what is data and variables. So let's start. So in data science study or statistics field, you see the raw data mostly in terms of Excel, but it is not guaranteed. Okay, it could be of any format. So you need to, so there is a ETL process like extract, transform and load. Okay, so in that process, like a data engineer load the data. Okay, and then we get the kind of structured data. Okay, so it could be unstructured also, like text and images. So that's the later part, but suppose you have this data available with you. Okay, so what is data and what is variable? So this complete data. Okay, so like these fields, like each row, so this as all together this forms the data. Okay, so there is no rocket science here, so you know what is data. Okay, now what is important here is like what is variables. So like age, business, travel, department, distance. So these column you see in the Excel. Okay, so this is your variables. And again the important thing here is like, okay, this variable could be of different types. Okay, so one more thing let me tell you guys here. Okay, so in this field people call these variable with different names. So the important names, like they give like for example, let me write. So sometimes people know it like, okay, so simple variables. Okay, or they also name it like features. So then we say, okay, what are the feature set in the data? Okay, and then we divide these feature set further into the independent variable and dependent variable. So this is very important in the field of data science. Okay, so what are the independent variable and what are the dependent variable? So basically a dependent variable will be dependent on the independent variable, and its value will be derived with the help of independent variable. So for example, here if you see like business, travel, department, distance from home, and all those variables are till number of experience in the company, for example. Okay, till here all are independent variable. Then attrition, so we are interested to know the what is the attrition rate in the company, okay, in the organization. So we want to identify this attrition. Of course this is the historical data, so attrition data is available, but with the help of this data we want to predict for future, right? So this becomes your dependent variable, and this is also known as target variable, which we want to predict. Okay, suppose, so this is known as a target variable. So that's why, like in broader aspect, variable is divided in two types, like independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, so this is with respect to the like what we want to identify, what we want to predict. Okay, and then in different aspect, if we talk about variables, okay, then these variable could be of different types. For example, here you see business, travel. So like strings are available, like travel rarely, travel frequently. Okay, like that, and there will be a non-travel also. Okay, so string kind of data is available. And then here you see like in age column we have like numbers, like integers 41, 49, 37, like this. Okay, so these look like number, numeric, and these like strings. Okay, and then department also string. Okay, distance from home, like this again number, then this again string. Okay, and then gender, male, female, there are two category. Okay, so like gender. Okay, so like that. So based on like these data values, so this is data values, right? This whole thing, based on these data value, we divide this variable in different types. Okay, that comes like numerical variable or categorical variable. So let's understand, okay, with some more example, then it will be clear. So let me show you one thing. Okay, suppose here there are bricks of gold. Okay, and here total quantity is like 18 kg. Okay, and suppose another set of gold is like quantity is 27 kg. Okay, and then we have some players on the field, and their jersey number is written 27, 18. Okay, like that. And now suppose same data is available in terms of Excel file. So we have two columns, one is gold quantity and one is jersey number. Okay, so if you look in the data, so data like in terms of value, it looks like same. Here also numbers are available, here also numbers are available, right? 18, 27. So just for explanation purpose, like I have written the same numbers. Okay, so like 18 kg gold is available, 27 kg gold is available, likewise. Okay, and there in jersey number like 18 jersey number Virat Kohli, 27 jersey number Ajinkya Rahane. Okay, and likewise different jersey numbers are there for the players. Okay, so but there's a difference in the data here. So this is like quantity, like new So gold quantity will be represented in numbers. Okay, so it could be like any infinite numbers, right? It could be 18, 18.5 kg, 18.25 kg, it could be 17 kg, it could be 1 kg, 1.2, 1.22, 1.23, 2.5, 3.5. It could be any random number, okay, based on how much exact quantity is available. Exactly, right? So it could be any number, but here in jersey number, if we talk about jersey number, at a time on the ground from one team there will be only 11 players, right? If we talk about cricket match, right? So only 11 player will be there. So there will be only 11 different jerseys will be there. So here we are limiting the number, but here there won't be any limit, right? But here jersey number will be limited. Even if you forget about the ground, if you talk about any country, for one country, if you talk about whole history, so there will be only fixed number of jersey numbers till now. Okay, it will not be unlimited, infinite. If you count all those jersey numbers, there will be fixed. Okay, so that's where these are known as categorical. Where there is a limit, you can limit the number, then it becomes categorical. So that's where this first column is denoted as numerical and second column is denoted by categorical. So this is numerical column, this is categorical column. Okay, so don't worry, we'll take some more example, then it will be more clear. Okay, so let's further bifurcate what are the different types under categorical and what are the different types under numerical. Okay. So again, categorical column you further divide into two subcategories. For example, nominal categorical variable and ordinal categorical variable. Okay, so let me again explain what does the categorical mean. Okay, so in the previous slide we have seen, okay, jersey with jersey number. So where I explain like limited number. So suppose there is a column of day of week. Okay, so in a week there are only 7 days, right? Or we talk about like month of a year. So there will be only 12 different years, 12 different months in a year, right? So that's why like when there is a limited set of numbers available, though they look like as a numeric number, like integer, but they are categorical. So that's where this differentiation is very important in data science. Okay, otherwise your model will start understanding them as a number and then your model results will be different. Okay, so that's where let's further divide this categorical column in nominal and ordinal. So what are nominal basically? So let's first understand what is ordinal and then you can understand what is nominal. So ordinal means there is some ranking, there is some order basically. Okay, so for example, mutual fund risk rating. So there will be some limited ratings. Okay, so like maybe some 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Okay, and there will be order. So 1 may be lowest rank and then 10 may be highest rating or rank, right? Or it could be reverse, 1 may be higher and 10 will be lower, but there will be some order, right? 1 to 10. And then similarly Fortune 550 ranking companies. Okay, so we are ranking what are the top 50 companies. So there is a rank, right? 1 to 50. So limit could be I'm not saying limit could be 10, 15, 20, it could be any limit, but there will be some limit, right? Upper limit will be there, like Fortune 50 ranking. And because it is ranking, there is some order, that's why it's ordinal. Then movie rating also we give in between 1 to 5, right? And then product rating online site like Amazon, in any e-commerce site you can see the ratings, right? So that's why wherever we put the order in the numbers of the categories, then it becomes ordinal categorical variable. And then it comes to another what remains in category, then that becomes nominal. For example, employee ID. So in company, there are some limited number. Of course, it could be 35,000, it could be 40,000, it could be 45,000 employees working for a company. Okay, and based on that, there will be those different employee IDs will be there. But those could be treated as a categorical column because they denote a category, right? They uniquely identifying an employee, right? So that's where employee. But see, this ID type mostly we remove from the our analysis. Like when we start building the model, okay, they just used for unique as a unique identifier. Okay, but in model building process we remove because they are anyway unique, so they don't bring any new information. Okay, but if you're not understanding that thing now, you can ignore that part also. Okay, and then later you will understand, but for time being you can only focus. Okay, there are some limited set of numbers here, so that's why this employee ID will come as a nominal. Then gender, only 2 or 3 categories, male, female or third gender or maybe whatever number. Okay, there are different genders. The religion also, that there could be some limited set of religions, not infinite, and then ethnicity as well. Pin codes also, there will be some limited pin codes. Of course, we cannot put any order in any of these, right? If we are not putting order, but they are limited, that's why they are not known as nominal categorical variable. The moment we can put the order, then it becomes the ordinal. Okay, and then comes our numerical variable. Okay, so now let's understand the numerical variable, and then you by looking into the numerical variable, maybe you can better understand, okay, the difference between numerical and categorical. So what are the numerical variable? Like, for example, height of the person, weight, time. So for example, you talk about height. Okay, so it could be like any, like a height could go to decimal places as well. Like, for example, 5.6 feet or 4.5, 6.1. Any, like, it could be any real number, right, based on the height of the person. So there is no fixed value, so that's why this comes in a numeric column. And then weight also, it could be any real number, right, 1 point, 10 point, 80 point, any number, right. It could be person weight, it could be any quantity, okay, anything, it could be general weight. Or time, volume. Okay, so time also, it's not in between 1 to 12 or 1 to 24. Okay, so it could be any, like it could be in seconds, milliseconds, and further you can divide in microseconds, right? So infinite you can divide. Okay, but of course, if you divide like time in hours, okay, so hours, and you can fix like in 12 hours. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4, like those hours only. Okay, then there are only 12 categories. So it depends like in what format data is given, so that you need to bifurcate by yourself by applying your common sense. Okay, but that's where, like in very general scenario, like if there is a limit, then most probably it will be a categorical column, and there is no limit, kind of infinite, okay, countably infinite it could be, then that is a numerical column. Okay, like volume of any entity, number of iPads sold, number of complaints received, okay, at the call center, or number of employees. Okay, it could be any number of employees. So if we talk about random, like randomly any number of employees it could be. Okay, so that's where there is no limit set, but when you talk about employee ID, so it will be like certain, right. Okay, so now numerical variable can also be divided into two categories. One is discrete and one is continuous. So discrete is known as like which you can count, like countable, and then this is not countable infinite basically. Okay, it's not directly countable. So let's understand what is discrete. So for example, suppose you are tossing a coin 10 times, then suppose 6 times head is appearing at the top and 4 times tail is appearing at the top. So you are counting easily, like 6 times head, 4 times tail. Okay, so that's where this becomes a discrete numerical variable. And when you cannot exactly count, so basically, for example, how many kg of flour, right, gram flour or any flour. Okay, so like in terms of kg, like measurement. Okay, so when you do this kind of measurement, like so that's where it becomes like continuous. So basically, when it takes like any real number, like it could be 1.4 kg, it could be 1.5 kg, or it could be 1.44, any real number, right. So that's where it becomes a continuous variable. So it's a numerical variable can be divided into discrete and continuous. So for example, if you bifurcate these things into the discrete and continuous, so number of iPads sold, you can count, right. This will become discrete. And number of complaints received, this is again discrete, and number of employees, this is again discrete variable. Then volume, you cannot count, right, so this will be continuous. Time, this could be this depends, right, how you have written, but mostly it will be continuous. Okay, weight continuous, height continuous, right. So these all are continuous variable, and then these are discrete variable. So that's it about discrete and data and variable, and let's do a quick attention check, guys. Okay, so let's solve some examples. So suppose I'm asking, okay, time between customers arrival at a retail outlet. Okay, so so for example, customers are arriving in a retail outlet. Okay, and we want to know, okay, the time between first customer coming, okay, and then second customer is coming. So what is the time between these two? So this could be a random any time, right. We cannot we cannot count it. It could be a 1 hour 30 minute, or it could be a 30 second, or it could be 35 minute. There is no fixed, right. It could be any. So that's where what variable it will be. It will be continuous, right. Let's take another example. Suppose sampling 100 voters in an exit poll and determining how many voted for the winning candidate. So we are sampling 100 voters. Okay, so basically what it means, we have took a sample of 100 voters in an exit poll, and we are interested to know how many voted for the winning candidate. How many, right? We can exactly count, right? Whether 55 have voted, whether 35 have voted, whether 60 have voted. We can count, right? So that's where it will become a discrete variable. Then another, length of newly designed automobile. So whatever a newly designed automobile is, what is the length, right? It could be any length, right? So suppose this time you are designing for 2.5 inches, and then second time you are 6.5 inches, any size it could be, right? So that's why it could be a continuous variable. Okay, so let's take another example. So number of customers arriving at a retail outlet during a 5-minute period. Okay, so there is a 5-minute window. So there is a 5-minute window you can count. Okay, so exactly how many customers have arrived in that 5 minutes. It could be 5 customers, or it could be 10 customers, or it could be a 15 customers, but there will be fixed, right? In that 5-minute window there will be fixed number of customers who have arrived. You can easily count, right? So that's where it becomes a discrete variable. Then another, like number of defects in a batch of 50 items. So there are 50 items, and you need to identify, okay, what are buggy and what are non-buggy. Okay, so you can easily count, right? For example, if 35 buggy are there, then 15 non-buggy will be there, or there are 25 buggy and 25 non-buggy. So basically what I am trying to say, you can easily count them, right? Fixed, there will be fixed number at the end ultimately. So that's why this is also a discrete variable. Okay, so I hope by now the difference between discrete and continuous variable is clear. Okay. So that's it for discrete and continuous variable, and that covers the basic terminology, and in next lecture we will start the descriptive statistics in detail. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye until next time.